Hello! So welcome. We are already in week 2, which is super crazy how fast this time is flying. And yesterday you heard from Stephanie talking all about how to share your story, social media, and that is honestly one of my favorite things that we get to do in this business is completely share our story. Think about things from a different perspective. Think about how things were when we start our journey. So whether or not you are just starting your fitness journey and health journey as a new coach, or whether you've been doing this for a while, you can remember what it feels like now or back then when you started. And we all are constantly overcoming different things in our lives, and that's how we go about sharing those. So we share these obstacles, we share how we're overcoming them, and that connects and resonates with other people. And so as we do this and as we're sharing our stories, we're connecting with other people. We're connecting with them. We're building relationships with them. They're seeing who we are authentically. And it's not just something like a sweaty selfie or some motivational quote off of Pinterest. It's really about showing you, showing yourself, and being authentically you 100% of the way, unapologetically. So today we're really going to dive into the next piece of it. So as you're out there and you're sharing your story and you're posting on your social media, that's great. So the next thing that we really have to focus on is connecting with the people that are commenting or liking our posts, taking it to private message, and taking things to the next level so that we can focus on the income producing activities of things such as inviting and following up. They always say that the fortune is in the follow-up, and that could not be more true. So I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to get there in a minute. So as you see with all of these videos, hopefully you're kind of seeing a theme of how they progress and build off of one another. So if you're doing your job of what Stephanie was talking about yesterday, of posting and sharing your journey on social media, this piece that I'm going to talk about today is going to be a heck of a lot easier through connecting, inviting, and following up. So what that looks like is if you are posting on your social media and you see people that are liking and commenting on your posts, it's going to be super easy to start a conversation with them and to say, thank you so much for your love on my post. How are you doing? And just catch up with them and start that friendship, start that connection if it's not someone that you've talked to in a while. One of the other things that we're going to have you focusing on, as I've talked about in the daily Power Hour Do Your Shit list, is expanding your network. So as you're adding people to your social media, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, you're going to have new friends that you can reach out to and say how glad you are to get to know them and all of those type of things. So the initial piece to what it is that we're doing is connecting. So this business is all about people. It's all about relationships and building relationships through being ourselves and connecting with other people that are like-minded. And that's how we start to begin to build our tribe. So if you want to connect with other people, you want to make sure that you're being open and honest and vulnerable with who you are as you're sharing your story, like Stephanie talked about yesterday. So connects. We like to look at this as in terms of sending a message. So sending a message on Facebook, sending a message on Instagram, whatever the case may be. You can even count connects as commenting on people's posts on social media, but not likes. Likes do not start a conversation and have you stand out and get that traction going. Plus the algorithm behind Instagram and Facebook, and that's like all the techie stuff. I don't really know too much about it, but I just know that the more you comment and message and all of those things, the more you show up in other people's news feeds, which is very important as you're trying to build your business. You want people to see what it is that you're sharing. So a simple way to connect is you see someone pop up in your news feed on Facebook and they just got engaged. You send them a message or you comment on the post and say, oh my gosh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. As someone that has gotten married before, I would say something like, I know how exciting it is and how you must feel in the moment. Your ring is gorgeous. Have you guys thought about when you want to have the big day? Something like that. Something as simple as, saying, congratulations, I'm super excited for you, and then asking them a question at the end. So another one I might see that I seem to see in my newsfeed a lot are announcements of, pregnancies or having the birth of their baby or something like that. And so if I see a pregnancy announcement, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I personally am looking forward to my sister who is having her first baby, and I'm going to be an aunt for the first time. When are you due? How's your pregnancy treating you so far? Something like that. So I connect, I kind of say how I have a common interest or why it is that I'm reaching out to them, congratulating them, saying how happy I am for them, and then asking them a question. So those are some simple strategies as you're scrolling through that you can reach out to people based on things that are happening in their life. Another super easy way are birthday messages. So every single person on Facebook is going to have a birthday at one point this year, and that's going to help you to connect with them and to start a conversation. And so instead of just, writing on their Facebook wall or something like that, if you take the time to send them a private message on Facebook, I normally like to do this the day before or the day after their birthday, not exactly the day of, because there are a lot of things going on Facebook and it could get lost in transition. But I'll send them a message, simply something like, hey, I just wanted to send a quick note and wish you a super happy birthday. I hope that this year is the best for you yet. Are you doing anything fun this week or this weekend to celebrate? And so that again is giving them something positive, saying how happy I am for them, wishing them well, but then asking a question to get that conversation going. Now, sometimes the conversation might not go any further, and that's totally fine. You don't want to pull teeth, but normally it gets something going, and then we can move through the rest of the process of that conversation. And we'll talk way more about how to have conversations and how to do specific things like that. But one simple thing that I do want to just start talking about and start mentioning as you are having these conversations is a philosophy called form. So as you're having these combos, you're going to start just with that connection. And then you're going to want to take things to the next level to get to know them more if you don't already. So this is great for people that are in what they call your cold market. So your warm market are people like your friends, your family, they already know and trust you. But for people that you're maybe adding now or you haven't talked to since high school, you don't really have a lot of clout and a lot of trust with them. So you have to build that. So when you do that initial connection, you're kind of dipping your toe in the water with them, right? And you're waiting for them to send you a response back, answer the question that you've asked, something like that. And then you move through the process called form. So F stands for where they're from, their family, that type of thing. So if someone messages me back and says, this is what I'm doing for my birthday this year, I'm celebrating with family, I can say, oh my gosh, that's awesome. How old are your kids now? Or something like that, because you can kind of check out their Facebook and see where they're from. I don't normally have to ask that question. I can usually see their family, so I can already reference something about that. And then the next piece, so the F is for where you're from, your family. The O in form is for occupation. So what is it that you do for a living? The R is something about relating to them, and the M is all about the message. So how, again, you can connect back and loop something in about a, relationship, that type of thing. So when I'm sending the message, this is how the conversation might go. I send them, a happy birthday message. They say, oh yeah, this weekend, I'm going to celebrate time with my family and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I'll say, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I totally love spending time with my family too. That sounds like the perfect birthday. How old are your kids now? And then they, message me back and we have a little conversation about that. And then I'll say, oh, that's awesome. So I know you're super busy as a mom. Do you also have to work full time on top of being a full-time mom? And they'll say yes or no. And if they say yes, oh, cool. So what is it that you do for a living? That must be really crazy having to balance all that stuff. And again, just having that conversation and sharing with them and connecting with them to understand where they're coming from and to try to have that conversation going. But here's the thing. If the conversation feels awkward, if the conversation doesn't feel natural and you feel like you're pulling teeth, it's okay to stop the conversation. You don't have to keep going. This is where you're genuinely trying to make friendships, to get to know people, to enjoy their company and to enjoy talking to them. And from that point, that's where you warm up that market. That's where you build that trust. You show them your personality. So even though we will be, showing you different scripts and different strategies that you can use, like form, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to copy paste this whole thing. You use it as an idea, as a flow, and you make it your own personality. I would hate for you to send a message saying like, hey girl, and that's not your personality, or using words like babe or swearing or whatever the heck the case may be. I use the word dude all the freaking time. Freaking, these are like words that are Ashley. These are me, and it makes me stand out and it makes me be myself. But I would not want you to use those words and, you know, do that stuff in your message if it's not you. So I want you to really think about that when you're starting to have conversations with people. Just be yourself and go into it feeling like, I want to get to know this person. I want to connect with them. I want to find common interests. I want to make a new friend. That is your goal. You're not focused on, you know, am I going to get a sale out of this? Are they going to want to be into health and fitness? Are they going to want to join my team? Do not lead with that. Lead with genuine interest and really trying to figure out what it is that they want out of life. What are their struggles? What is it that they have going on? And when you're having those conversations, that's where you're going to get through to the point where a natural invite might come up. So she might say something like, you know, I'm working full time. I have my kid full time. I barely have time for me. And, you know, that's when I can ask questions like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what that is like. And when you do find that little teeny tiny window of space for you to find time to enjoy things that you want to do, what the heck is it that you like to do for fun? And I totally messed it up before, you guys. The R in form is recreation. So it's what do they like to do for fun? I can't even remember what I explained it as before, but the R is recreation. So F, where are you from? Your family. O, occupation. R, recreation. M, message. So how you connect. So fix your notes if you're taking them right now. I'm human. I'm not perfect. So anyways, as I'm asking those questions, maybe she'll say, oh, you know, I love to do yoga, or oh, I love to do this or that, but I don't have the time for it. That's where a natural invite can come up, and I can say, oh my gosh, girl, like I have this 21-day Rock Your Life challenge group going on right now, and I feel like it could be a perfect fit for you because it's all about combining home-based fitness, clean eating, and accountability so that you can fit it in your own schedule, but it can really help you towards those goals that you're working towards. Is that something you'd be more interested in hearing about? And that's where it doesn't feel weird, it doesn't feel awkward. I don't feel uncomfortable sending that message because I truly know that this is something that would add value to her life. Plus, I've asked her enough questions and I've built that trust and that relationship already through our conversation. So I really want you to focus on that nice, warming people up, building that trust, asking questions, focusing on relationship, focusing on getting to know them, and then that's when you can send your invite. For people that already know you, trust you, that's where you can say a message like, hey, you know, this might be totally random, but I was thinking of you. I just started this, you know, whole new coaching thing, and I'm putting my first group together, and I really thought of you and thought this could be something that would be good for you because X, Y, and Z. And this is what we're doing. Would you be interested in hearing more about that? And guys, this is me just kind of spewing things off the top of my head. We're going to share exactly how and what and the scripts, quote unquote, that you can use to help you with these invites that you make your own. So don't worry so much about the verbiage. I'm just trying to explain how the conversation can go and how you can feel good about it, because this shouldn't feel icky. It shouldn't feel like you're a gross salesperson. I don't want you to feel like your friends see you and then they run away because they're nervous that you're going to try to sell them something, okay? So that is a big piece of this, is we're just focusing on today for those connections and how you can naturally get that progression to inviting. The last piece is really that follow-up. So as you start to invite, you're going to want to really get good at keeping track of all of the people that you're reaching out to so that you can follow up with them, because people are not going to be checking Facebook or Instagram or whatever the case may be like we do. And so we need to kind of circle back with them. And again, we'll share a lot of those strategies for how you can follow up. But it's as simple as maybe I sent that invite to someone and they didn't answer. So then in a couple of days, I'll send them a message and say something like, hey, I know that Facebook can get really crazy. I just wanted to see if you saw that message that I sent you and if you're still interested. And it just reminds them of, hey, I sent you this message. And how many times, I can't even tell you, that I send a message following up with someone and they simply say back, oh my gosh, I totally saw your message and I got so busy, I totally forgot to respond. So that is something that I want you to feel okay with doing as well, is keeping track of your business, keeping track of the people you're talking to. And again, we'll share lots of different strategies for how you can keep track, but it can be as simple as pen and a piece of paper for right now. You can do it electronically, but just start thinking about how you can write down the names of people and all of that for moving them along that flow of connecting, inviting, following up. So what I want us to focus on today is simply sending 10 connections. So that's as simple as going through your Facebook newsfeed and reaching out to people based on things that you saw on their post, and just speak what you want to say. If you like someone's hair, say, hey girl, I just saw you pop up in my newsfeed and I have to admit, I'm totally obsessed with your hair. I love it on you. Where'd you get it done? Or, hey, I saw that you got this awesome piece of furniture that you have that you posted in your dining room. I've been looking everywhere for something like that. Where the heck did you get it from? Just whatever it is that you want to say to them, be freaking okay with being a little uncomfortable and maybe feeling weird reaching out to people. But just be you and it will be okay. I promise you. And if you get really nervous, one of my favorite books is called The 5-Second Rule. Just count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't even worry about what your mind is going to think, because that's going to shut it up, and then just hit send and send that message, okay? So what I want to see is either you're sending those connects from scrolling through your feed and finding fun things to reach out to people about, or birthday messages, or if you posted something this week on your page about, your health and fitness, or just in general, reach out to people and thank them for liking your post and showing the love, and to never stop and ask them how they're doing. So 10 people. I promise you it shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes to get this done. And I want to see a screenshot of what that looks like and post it in the comments below so we can see how you're doing your connects, how you're starting those conversations, and we can praise you, we can give some suggestions. If you feel weird and you're not sure exactly what to say in a situation, this is where we're here to help. So let's do those connects so that next we can focus on the invites, and then we'll get to the follow-ups. All right, bye guys.